Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Sarah Azifah binti Muhammad Khalid, and today I'm going to present my FYP project, which is Business Financial Forecasting System using Autoregressive Integrate Moving Average ARIMA algorithm. We start with background of the study. Financial will determine the business performance. Therefore, effective financial management are essential to every business. Financial forecasting are needed to resolve financial issue. Thus, financial ratio indicators are extracted from financial statement. The study of business financial forecasting system using autoregressive integrate moving average ARIMA is developed. ARIMA is suitable for this project because it is a time series forecasting that is able to find patterns in the sequence of time based on historical data. For this project, financial ratio will be calculated and forecast and visualize the result to the user. Problem statement. First, difficulties in making right decision for goals to ensure business growth. Rombe 2018 points out that it is hard and almost impossible to achieve goals without careful planning and forecasting because companies often suffer significant damage when pursuing unrealistic goals. Second, struggling to face uncertainties in the future. Article 2020 states that the inability to face uncertainty is one reason why financial problems occur and cause the company to face significant damage financial problems. Third, forecasting in manual ways may be biased and inaccurate. As supported by Winter 2018, the finance manager usually does financial forecasting in manual ways. Therefore, there is tendency to be biased and inaccurate prediction. Objective. The first one is to design a web-based system for Dutch Lady Milk Industry Berhad business financial forecasting. Second, to develop a web-based system for Dutch Lady Milk Industry Berhad business financial forecasting using autoregressive integrate moving average ARIMA algorithm. And the last one is to test the functionality and the arithmetic evaluation of the system. Scope. This project aims to calculate and forecast future financial ratio based on past financial statement. The project is a web-based application that are written in Python Flux. The data are obtained from the quarterly report of Dutch Lady Milk Industry Berhad Company, which are downloaded from Bursa Malaysia, and the data consists of the first quarter of 2010 until the second quarter of 2021. The financial ratio that are focused in this project are current ratio, cash ratio, gross profit margin ratio, net profit margin ratio, return on asset ratio, debt to equity ratio, interest coverage ratio, and total asset turnover ratio. Significant. The first, enables to visualize the future forecast of the business financial. Second, help to establish goals by comparing the past and the future performance of the company, and it able to calculate and forecast the financial ratio more faster and accurately. Since the project focus more on financial ratio, therefore financial ratio are studied. Financial ratio is the information from the business financial statement to calculate economic indicator. Therefore, in this project, financial ratio is calculated by using data from past financial statement. There are four main financial ratio that are studied, which is liquidity ratio. This is the ability of the firm to meet its obligation in the short run, which is current ratio and the cash ratio. Profitability ratio show the result of the operation, which is net profit margin ratio, gross profit margin ratio, and return on asset ratio. Next, leverage ratio that determine the amount of the debt incurred by the business, where it is debt to equity ratio, interest coverage ratio. And the last one is efficiency ratio, which is identify one business capability to efficiently use its resources, which is total asset turnover ratio. Autoregressive integrate moving average ARIMA algorithm are used for this project. It is a one type for the time series forecasting and also a part of regression method. Time series forecasting is suitable for this project because it uses historical data and associate pattern to forecast future outcomes. ARIMA method has been widely used in many fields such as specification, evaluation, and diagnosis. This algorithm is used to calculate and forecast 8 financial ratios that I mentioned earlier. To evaluate the ARIMA model, the error metric are used are mean absolute error (MAE) and root mean square error (RMSE). These both are used because it able to compare to determine whether the forecast contain large but infrequent errors and diagnose the variation in the error in the set of forecasts. Then this both also able to compute the error produced by the predictive model, and it is easier and more faster to calculate, and also it uses a single numeric value to sum up the understandable error. Next, data visualization are used for this project. The result of the forecast financial ratio are presented through data visualization technique, thus include the graphical form of graph which are interactive line graph and bar chart. And the data visualization also give more insight to the user and makes the data more understandable to the user. Modified waterfall methodology are used in this project. They start with the requirement phase, which is the collecting the data and the literature review, and then it moves on to the design, which is to design the flowchart, to design the use case, and then the implementation is used to develop the web-based application and to create the model for the system. And then the model and the system are tests, which is included in the functionality testing and arithmetic evaluation for the models, ARIMA model. It only cover until testing because maintenance and deployment are not covered in this project. This summarizes the project development, where it starts with data collection, where the quarterly report of Dutch Lady Meg Berhad are downloaded from Bursa Malaysia, and then the data are checked whether there is a missing value or not, and therefore when the data is clean, the data is ready to be transformed, where data are transformed from a non-stationary data into stationary data by using the p-value indicator, which if p-value is less than 0.05, the data is non-stationary and therefore it need to be transformed to stationary data. After the data already stationary, then the data will be fed into ARIMA model. And then after it already fed, it will undergo the training, testing and training the data, where 30% from the data is for testing and 70% for training. And this also include the evaluation for the error metrics that are mentioned earlier, and then after all of the testing and training data done, then the forecast for the future financial ratio is done. This is the flowchart of the system, where it starts by displaying the main menu page, and then the user able to choose whether want to go to the about page, where it tells more about the system, and go to the features page, where it tells what are the features are included in this system, and if they wish to go to view the forecast, and then the system will display the financial ratio menu, where the user able to choose whether they want to view overall performance page, view current ratio page, where if they click any of these page, and then the system will generate the data visualization and display it to the user. Thus the flow is the same for the every financial forecasting ratio that are shown to the user, and if the user wish to end, then they can end the system. This is the system use case diagram, where the user able to view main menu page, which is the landing page, and able to view the about page, where it tells more about the system, view features page, where it tells more the features that are involved in the project, and then it able to view the forecast page, where it shows the ratio menu, where the user can click whether they want to view overall performance page, want to view all the financial ratio page, where it will be shows visualization technique, which is the interactive bar chart and interactive line graph. So this is the main menu page for the system, where this is the first page that the user will see when they first enter the system. If the user wish to go to the about page, then they can click on the about on the navigation bar, and then we will redirect to about page. This page will tell about what the system is, what are the data used, and what are the system aims to. Next, if user wish to go to the features page, they can click on this button and redirect to the features page, and this features page will display about what are the features that involved in the system, where there is ARIMA, it calculates master, implement data visualization, and accessible anywhere.
User can click on the forecast to go to the forecast page. In this page, financial ratio menu will be displayed, and the user may able to click any of the ratio to see the data visualization. If the user wish to go to the overall performance page, then this page will display the overview for all the financial ratio, where it display the current ratio, cash ratio, gross profit margin ratio, net ratio, the return on asset ratio, debt to equity, interest coverage, and total asset turnover ratio. Where in here it will show the past value and the forecast value of the ratio itself, and when the user touch the graph, and then it will give the information such as what is the graph is, the date, and the ratio value itself. User may also click on navigation bar, that is liquidity, profitability, leverage, and efficiency. For example, user wish to see more visualization of current ratio, then user will be directed to the current ratio page, where in this page, current ratio function is described above. There are 4 main visualization for each financial ratio. The first one is the line graph of the past and the forecast ratio, that it shows that the past value and the forecast value for the financial ratio. Next, the forecast graph, where the forecast value are represented in 95% confidence interval, where it is chosen as a 95% confidence interval because it is the most standard used for the confidence interval. There is the upper boundary and the lower boundary, which indicate the forecast value will always be within the boundary. There are 2 different visualize that are used, which is line graph and bar chart, to make it more understandable. Last one, ratio indicator, where the indicator that will affect the value of the ratio are visualized. This is to show that in order to increase or decrease the ratio, they must take action for this indicator. Also, when user touch the line graph and the bar graph, it also display the information for the specific value, such as the date and the ratio, such as the date and the currency. This will be the same for cash ratio. Gross profit margin ratio, net profit margin ratio, return on asset ratio, debt to equity ratio, interest coverage ratio, and last one, total asset turnover ratio.
The result for functionality testing, where we can see from the system demo, we can tell that each test case gives the expected result, therefore all the test cases are success. The result for error metric evaluation by using RSME and MAE for every financial ratio. There's 3 rules that are need to be fulfilled by the model. The first one is RSME value must be less than mean. Then MAE value must be less than RSME, and the third one, there is no significant difference between RSME and MAE. Therefore, when we see through the table show, we can see that all the financial ratio fulfill the 3 rules, and we can conclude that all the model able to forecast correctly. So this is the line graph for each financial ratio, where it shows the original value and also the prediction value by using ARIMA model. We can see that each financial ratio prediction does match the actual trends. Therefore, each financial ratio able to forecast and visualize the result to the user. Based on the result, it can be concluded that all the models able to calculate and forecast financial ratio appropriately, and the system able to redirect the correct page and displaying the correct information. Hence, all the objectives are achieved. And that's all from me. Thank you very much.